Hey guys, this is Anthony here with my fellow hosts T and Selina, welcoming you to the first ever edition of Behind the Chains. I'm super excited to be bringing you our news, views, and reviews on all the goings-on in UWA. How's everybody doing? Super Bowl Sunday.
Hi.
Hey.
You guys sound so excited.
Yeah, right?
Wake up, you're worse than me.
Hey, I worked 100 hours, leave me alone.
Yeah, and I work too, so shush.
Fine. First edition of the podcast. Are you nervous, T?
Not really, no.
T is our subject today. We're going to be asking her some questions.
She is our guinea pig.
She is.
Yes, I am the guinea pig. But that's okay because you two are next.
I'm conveniently going to be sick that week.
Figures, Anthony.
That's my guess. That's my big plan.
You can't hide forever.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
You can't hide forever.
The hell I can.
We will find you. I know where you live.
Oh, that's right, you do. Oh no.
Yes.
She sent me a Christmas card this year, so she can track me down.
Yep, she sure can.
Only fallback of that is he knows where I live, so.
Yep. So, I'm ready if you guys are.
All right. So I'll go first here. We have some questions for you, both stuff that we thought up and stuff that people on the board were gracious enough to provide us.
Okay.
First question. You were saying to me the other day that you just started doing the Fedding thing. This is the first time you've really done it. How did that happen? How'd you get into it?
Between our lovely Fed head Chris and Shane.
That guy's a jerk. I'm kidding, Chris. We love you, man. Selina? You got a question?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. God, good start. Okay, what part of the country do you live in, and what are your thoughts on the current weather there, or the future weather, as it were?
Where I live now, I'm in the Midwest in Iowa. I currently live with Chris. He's my old man. Shane's my best friend, and we live, within the same city. So, and I see it pretty good. I mean, right now I'm currently working 2 jobs, and we're going to see how that works. I'm hoping to get to school soon. Going to go for business management and hopefully open a business soon.
Very cool.
What type of business?
Jewelry making. I make handmade beaded jewelry.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's kind of calming. It's kind of my zen area. So.
Yeah. Well, that's how I am with my writing. So.
Yeah, it's important to have something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
So. Yep, that's my zen area. So it's going to be jewelry making, and actually, Shane's wife and I are going to be working on it together. So.
Here's the thing, though. Is it still going to be like your zen calming thing if it's work?
Yes.
You think?
Yes, because I've made and sold a few pieces already in the past, so yeah, it's still my zen thing.
Ah, very
cool.
Cool.
Good. Now you were saying again, we talked the other day. You were saying you've been writing for years. You've been kind of doing the role play thing in other places. Did you have Aerynn as a character before, or is she like totally made up for UWA?
She's totally made up for UWA, completely.
Oh, cool.
I've been writing on AOL for 21 years, off and on. Like everybody, I've taken, hiatus before, 6 months, year, 2 years. But I've been doing role-playing as a whole for... And I'm about to show my age.
For a while.
Since I was 16, and I'm 39 now, so...
I came on looking for a chat for bead art, and it was all downhill from there.
So, yeah, I've been doing writing for a while.
Cool.
How many characters have you had in the past?
Oh, God.
Oh, how many favourites have you had then?
Okay, how many favorites? 5 or 6. I mean, I've had 5 or 6 really, really big favorites that I have. 2 of which I have had for 10 years or better. And, like I said, every now and then I'll go on hiatus and then I'll go back to it. And, I've done the dicing thing for a long time. I was in the 4D dicing forums for a while. And,
Wow.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've got, 5 or 6 that are favorites, but, Aerynn is right now my sole character besides Maiko, and she's slowly going to be introduced, over the next 6 months or so.
I am super excited for her. Super excited to see that character.
Yeah, she's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, it's funny how you were talking about, you'll take a hiatus, and then, you'll come back after a bit. I can be like that, too. You'll hear a song, or, you'll watch something on TV, and it'll remind me of it, and then, I'll have to bring someone back out of the mothballs.
Yep, exactly.
Do you have, speaking of, do you have, a process? Some people, when they sit down and, they write, they need, good tunes playing, or, they have to be in a certain mood. Are you like that, or can you just sit down and go?
I have to have inspiration. I am the type of person where I see where a character is at now, and then I envision how I want them to be in 6 months or a year. So to me, it's a process.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm good with, just the background noise of the television, or sometimes I have to, throw my headset on and listen to music. Just depends on what's going on, really. With what I'm writing, with Aaron's very first match with Fabian, it was music. I listened to music the whole time I was writing her promos. With Aerynn and Jessica's fight or match this week, I actually did a good majority of it after Chris went to bed and I was still awake. So,
He's a distraction.
No, no, he's not really a distraction. It's just that's when I was able to really sink down into what I wanted to do with Aerynn and push off where I'm wanting her to go, in the next few months. So
I'm trying to shit disturb here. Don't ruin my fun. Anyway, Selina, you go.
Yeah. Where do you see your character going in the future? Did you have any plans or anything, or are you just going on the fly?
She's going to kind of give a bit of a spoiler alert. She's going to have a major face turn. Because right now she's, neutral. But she's going to have a major face turn. It's just going to be a matter of when that turn is going to be. So.
Yeah, I think I kind of got that vibe right away. I think the payoff to this thing is, the inevitable Brody confrontation.
Right. I think everybody sees the Aerynn and Brody confrontation coming up.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so.
It's going to be amazing.
Yep, it's going to be fun to write out.
Yeah.
Now, on a more kind of general question.
Okay.
In the chat this week, a lot of us are kind of getting to know each other in there, and there's a lot, going on where we kind of find, it's a new Fed. We're trying to kind of find our voice,
Right.
Is there anything we should do you think we should be concentrating on as a group? If this place became known for something, an important attribute that people go, that's the thing you'll get over there, what would you kind of want that to be?
Leave the bullshit at the door. Leave it to your matches. Don't take anything personal. It's like we say, in our promoting of the Fed, no drama, just writing, and that's what it is. I mean, if you use your character as a way of getting out your week's frustration, then do that. Don't get upset because you may lose a match this week, but then again, you may come back the next week and have just a phenomenal fucking week posting 2 great promos, and you may win your match,
Yeah.
I know one thing that Chris and I are both looking forward to, as far as the Fed goes, is we're wanting to get more of the handlers involved in the judging of the matches, rather than it being broken down into, this person judging, this person judging, this person judging. We want it to be the Fed as a whole, to go through and, okay, so basically the way we were looking at it is, okay, so this person no-showed this week, but his opponent, promoted twice. There's really, that's a no-brainer,
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. But if you have somebody that went through and promoted twice, their partner, their opponent promoted twice, we want to have everybody take a look at those 2 promos and don't go with who your friends are. Don't go with who your favorite is. Go with who wrote the better promo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other Feds have started and gone on in the past, and it may work for other Feds, like having a group of people judge matches.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've heard where it fails to do that, and where it fails to show that it's not favoritism, and we don't want that in UWA. We don't want to show favoritism. We want to have it to be, as a collective group and a collective mind, have everybody go, this person just had a badass promo. And they deserve to win this match, and this is why they deserve to win this match. They showed knowledge of their character, they went through and they just were the better writer that weekend. I mean, and everybody's going to have an off week, it happens. You can't stop it. Real life gets involved, or you're just flat out having a bad week,
Yeah.
But it's a matter of, just, again, leave the bullshit at the door. Don't come in and sit in the middle of the chat room and then start having an argument with somebody just because you're having a bad day and you want to pick on somebody. No, that's not what we're about. Leave your bullshit at the door. Bring it into your writing. Don't bring it into the out-of-character part of it.
Yeah, and I think that between making judging a public, well, not a public thing, but between making judging a collective thing, mm-hmm. and us all being so social in the chat, and with this, I feel like I'm part of, I've been in Feds where it feels very disconnected.
Right.
You have a bunch of people, everybody writes their stuff, but it doesn't really feel together. In this, people are pretty much talking every day. Our judging is a thing that we can all get into. It's a club. It's very, we're all kind of contributing. It's a very nice feeling.
Right. I mean, and I'd like to see everybody that's in UWA, even if they don't have AIM, it takes a few minutes to download onto your computer. It takes, a minute to come up with a screen name or username to use. It's the shout box on the forums is great. It still leaves a lot, a bit disconnected.
Yeah.
So I ultimately I'd like to see everybody, get AIM. And, at any time of day I can, come home from work or wake up and see that throughout the day or night that people are talking, and throwing around ideas and, saying, hey, I've got an idea for this, want to talk to this person. You and I have talked, Anthony, about a storyline idea that I came up with for Aerynn, and it's just, I like that openness that everybody has, and I would like to see it throughout the entire Fed.
Well, since none of us sleep, you can come up with an idea whenever you want. It's really handy.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what it is. I'd like to see us all connect. And if we can't, there's some avenue that we, maybe eventually have to traverse, of getting some kind of chat service that we all can use. Instead of just being on AIM. Maybe it's Yahoo Chat, or maybe it's even MSN, Messenger, something to where we can all get together somehow or another and work, and go through and go, hey, I had this idea, and just kind of go from there. Right now, it just happens to be that most of the people that are in the Fed are on AIM. I've got a few that are on Facebook, but even still, it's kind of a matter of some people don't have Facebook.
Yeah. It doesn't have. It is 2014. Who does not have Facebook?
Believe it or not, I know quite a few.
Even my mom has Facebook. Gosh.
So yeah.
Old people in New Zealand have it, and new people don't.
So that's what my hope for it is we grow, we become much bigger, and we can start working together, as a cohesive group. So,
Selina,
huh?
Any question?
Oh yeah. Okay, how do you feel about your style of writing compared to other people's?
I said it in the chat a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again. I am a very logical writer. If something doesn't make sense to me, I cannot see it being written out. I just can't. Each person has their own style, so there's no right or wrong in writing from what I've seen. And like Nick Daniels, his writing is phenomenal. I look at Nick's promos and I'm just like, god damn, dude, seriously, dude is fucking amazing when it comes to writing and how he presents it. Some people go more for the flashy type writing, and then some people go for more the basic type writing. It's whatever works for that individual person. Me, I like it to where I can break it down to, this is what this person said, break it down, show the actions and everything that's going on, and so forth and so on. It's just, I don't know, each person has their own thing, I can't sit here and honestly say that I'm, better than anyone or worse than anyone, it's each person just has their own, and if you have it, own it.
Yeah.
We think you're really good, T.
So, well, thank you.
We're big fans.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You were just talking about Nick Daniels a minute ago. Is there anybody who's really impressing you in the Fed? Anybody you're really digging right now?
Nick Daniels' writing is really impressive. I would honestly have to say that with it being early on right now, I can't really say that I have a favorite, but I have a couple that I'm watching and going, God, when I face this person, it's gonna be an absolute bitch to try and go through and go, okay, how can I compliment or work with this person? Like I got told last night, in fact, that Selina and I seem to click with our writing. I seem to notice that Tim and I click, on a different level. As far as the interactions between Aerynn and Polly.
Tim is definitely on a different level. Whatever that means.
I have to honestly say the three that I am a bit worried about going up against is Nick Daniels, obviously. Mr. Chris, obviously, because, dude's a fucking god when it comes to writing, and Shane, also. So those are my three. Those are my three. Fuck, I'm facing this person this week, people. When it happens, because it's going to. I mean, it's you know, it's kind of obvious that, you know, with us being as new as we are, at some point in time, you know, Aerynn and Nick are going to face, at some point in time, you know, Aerynn's going to have to face Sentinel. Everybody knows that Aerynn and Brody are going to face off against each other.
I want to see that smug dick get punched in the face so bad.
So, I mean, everybody knows that that's going to be on the horizon. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. So, yeah, those are my three my three matches that I'm just sitting here going, oh, God, you know, when is it going to happen? And then, you know, I've got others who I'm looking forward to, like the whole storyline, Anthony, that you and I have been talking about. I'm looking forward to that one and seeing how well we click with writing.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball. Very excited.
So, yep, that's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of good stuff right now. I really like Daniel's standing out to me too. I really like his. He's definitely like, he's got this kind of like very like gothy kind of like, he reminds me of like, his stuff reminds me of like Silent Hill.
Exactly.
Where he's got like this one location that's kind of this affecting everyone's life. The town itself is a character. And it's really easy to kind of let that smother the whole piece. Like, a lot of writers kind of try that thing and they make that kind of mistake. I like his ability to, every now and then he'll drop like a little comedy in.
Yeah.
And it won't be like too much. Like, there's a line in Twisted Brain where like somebody like sends him a note and it's this very like spooky poem, and then like Daniels reads it and he's like, what the actual fuck? And it absolutely killed me when I read it, because it's exactly what you do, right?
Right. Exactly. So.
No, he's so good. Brody's a smug jerk, and I want to see him die.
Yeah,
so things are good right now.
Yep, things are really good right now. I think things are progressing well. So, but yeah.
Selina.
I was just about to ask. You cut me off, damn it. If the WWE could hire any fictional e-wrestler from UWA, who would you like to see them hire?
Do what now?
Yeah, I kind of fumbled that, didn't I? If the WWE could hire anyone from UWA, who would you like to see them hire?
Wow, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with the ego answer on this one and say Aerynn. Only because the state of the WWE divas right now is just, it's kind of a joke. It really is. I'm a big AJ Lee fan.
Me too.
I really am. And when AJ came out and laid her own version, quote unquote, of her own style of pipe bomb, I guess you could say, Chris would argue that, she made a very good point, about the state of the WWE divas. The divas now, the ones that are popular are only popular because they have their own show. And then the only one that's respectable that's even on that show that I can go through and go, okay, this chick has a point, is Natalya. And yet at the same time, she got her hand up because of who her family is. Yeah. I'm not saying that these women didn't come into the WWE and didn't fight for it, but at the same time, the Bella Twins were like, oh, you're only where you're at now because you've been paired up with, WWE superstars and this person and that person and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm sorry, one of you is engaged to Daniel Bryan and the other one's dating John Cena. And then out of the Funkadelics, one of them just got married to one of the Usos here recently. So, you know, it's... AJ Lee made a very good point. She's busted her ass since she's gotten into wrestling to get where she is.
Absolutely.
mean, she just, you know, yeah, she's been paired up with, you know, with some superstars, you know, Cena and Bryan and Punk and, you know, Dolph Ziggler and,
there's an important difference with AJ though, as opposed to a lot of women who get paired with men in wrestling. They're arm candy. They're jewelry. When you look at when AJ was paired with Punk, when AJ was paired with Ziggler, when AJ was paired with Bryan, AJ drove the narrative.
Right.
It was AJ pitching the story forward, and it was about AJ's enemies having to come at her.
Right.
It was a nice change of pace.
Yeah. It was, and I honestly think that a lot of my inspiration for Aerynn comes from watching AJ Lee. I go through and I see, you know, okay, well, this didn't work for her. How can I turn it to work for Aerynn?
Nice.
I have it to where, you know, Aaron's in a situation where everybody knows she's not happy about being in the situation that she's in, but she's making it work. She's doing her job. You know, so she's going through and she's doing exactly that. You know, it's just like in the segment for Monday Night Mayhem's first show when Brody went busting in to, you know, talk to, I guess for lack of a better word, talk to Oliver. You know, he's like, what's the meaning of this? And, you know, and all this other stuff. And when Oliver asked, you know, Aerynn, you know, did you see any illegal blows? And Aerynn just shrugged non-committally. You know, she wasn't going to get pulled into the middle of that feud is what it was. You know, they were both trying to pull her into the middle of it, and she just kind of, you know, sat there, was like, I'm not committing either way.
Mm-hmm. She's got and that gives her a really interesting charisma. Is her, she's detached kind of because she makes herself detached. Right. You know? You get this vibe that this isn't a person who's gonna get swept along the tide. Aerynn has agency. She's gonna do what she wants to do, no matter how much kind of people. She's not that dumb baby face that so many wrestlers are.
Right.
She doesn't get pitched into the tide. She kind of controls where she goes.
Right.
Let her get hired by WWE so we finally have a woman whose default reaction of losing a match is crying. That drives me nuts.
Or screaming at the top of their lungs, you know.
Yeah.
But man, look, not to toot my own horn here, but like I've been doing, obviously not professional wrestling, but I've been grappling for years. My best training partner was a woman named Laura who used to wipe the floor with me.
Right.
If you beat Laura didn't cry. Laura looked like she wanted to bite your head off and spit it out. She sure as hell didn't cry.
Right. You know, I honestly have to say, Aerynn winning her match against Fabian was really a shock to me because I'm like, oh fuck, you know, dude, Aaron's, you know, 5'8", this guy's freaking humongous, you know, how the fuck is she gonna win this match, you know, against Fabian? And she got her ass beat, you know, and, you know, obviously I'm happy at the fact that she won, but I mean, it was a battle for her.
and I loved...
It was a battle for her.
I loved how insistent you were, because I saw the comments in chat, I saw the comments over AIM. I loved how insistent you were about it being a battle for her. You said over there, that really speaks to the lack of ego you have as a writer, that you said over there over and over again, she's tiny, she's gonna get beat on, you know?
Right.
And it's true, I've seen so many people who are like, oh, I can't believe they got that much offense in if I was going to win. And it's ridiculous. You know, like,
right.
It really says something to how logical you want this whole thing to be.
Right. Right. I mean, and it's just that's only because it's my way of thinking, you know. Her match with Jessica this week is going to be interesting because her and Jessica are evenly matched, but in two separate ways. I mean, it's you know, Selina and Jessica have been around for a while. They had the experience Aerynn, I'm coming in as a brand new EFED writer, and at the same time, I have experience with doing combat roleplay, right. But Aerynn's background is completely different. Aerynn's background comes from, she did underground MMA, UFC type fighting for years, and she did it as a means of survival. She did it as a means of, if you guys take a look in her character development and, her promos for the first show, hers was because, she was doing it for her family. And that's how she got into it. That's how she got used to the bumps and bruises. That's how I was able to go through and work it to where she knew who Fabian was. Because she's been in the underground fighting for so long. And there's going to be more of Aerynn's past that's coming out that I left a little string for people to see if anybody picked up on. I wasn't sure if anybody did. I'll go ahead and kind of, let everybody know what it is now. It's during her first promo where she was remembering the one match that damn near cost her life. Mm-hmm. That's going to be coming out. When, I don't know yet. That may be actually something that I want to work into with you, Anthony, with this whole, backstory thing that we're working on.
Yeah. I have to talk to you about that later tonight, by the way.
Okay. But, I mean, yeah, it's just, I have it to where, I honestly think this match coming up with Jessica, Aerynn's got a fight on her hands, and I know she's got a fight on her hands. Last week it was, dude's fucking huge, he's gonna whoop her ass. But this week it's personal this week for Aerynn anyways, but there's reasons behind why it's personal. Mm-hmm. So
what else we got here? Where
I'm out of questions.
Well, luckily, I can talk all day.
This is true.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Oh, we love you.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I have to get an answer to this because it was asked on the board. Chris, this is not my fault. Don't get angry. Blame your members. They want to know, how is it living with Chris? What's it like?
Oh, what's it like living with Chris?
Didn't pick up with the recording, guys. You can hear her kind of laughing in the back.
Do you guys know that cartoon where it was a movie? I don't remember what it was, but anyways, it had the bad guy who had this T-Rex. And the T-Rex is going around trying to kill people all the time. And then he gets one of the characters stuck in a corner, and he's trying to push, to try and get at this character. And he goes back to his, boss bad guy, and he looks at him, and he's like, big head, little arms, I can't reach.
No. I can't say this is ringing a bell.
Apparently Chris says it's Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
It's kind of like that sometimes. It can be really intense. No relationship's perfect. I have said it a couple different times, and I'll say it again. He's dysfunctional, I'm dysfunctional, and we seem to function in our dysfunction. But at the same time, when Chris and I met, I knew Shane had a brother. I didn't really, pay attention to who it was on Facebook, because at the time I was in a relationship, and I just, okay, cool, he's got a brother, The relationship that I was in ended very badly for me. I went through a while to where I disassociated myself from people in general outside of my work. Shane was a very big factor in helping me heal from that, and then his brother and I started talking. And it worked, and
you can seize the opportunity. I see.
No, I mean, I came here to I came here, last year to see Shane and Becca and finally meet his brother, and, we had been talking for a little bit, and he came and stayed with me at my hotel while I was there, and yes, he was hot. And I had already been talking to Shane and Becca about moving here to Clinton anyways, and it was gonna be actually this year that I moved here. And we were just, we were sitting there one night, and he looks at me and he goes, stay. He goes, come stay with me. He goes, you don't have to stay with me, like, after you get here, you can get your own place if you want to. Find a job, get stable, get money coming in, and then get your own place. And here it is, almost a year later, and we're still living together, and I'm going to throw something at you.
Do it.
That was perfect.
So.
It's going swimmingly and it's wonderful, but I'm gonna kill him.
So, it's every relationship has its ups and downs,
Absolutely.
But I found my smile again after the shit that I had went through, at the end of 2012, and he had, a lot to do with it. So, yeah, it's interesting, I'll say that much.
That's good. That's legit. That's very touching. Like, that's very cool.
Yep. So,
she knows. Yep.
I have days where, I absolutely want to kill him. I love him with all my heart. He drives me batshit crazy, but, but it's just, it is what it is, and...
Good. What else do we got here? What else do the people want to know? See, I keep accidentally closing the message board thread with the rest of the questions in them. All right, back to the bed. We're gonna make you lay it out and make a prediction.
Okay.
Who's walking out of Tragic Engagement as champion?
Oh, let's see. That's a toughie.
No, right?
I honestly think it's down to two people. It's either going to be Nick Daniels or Sentinel.
Agreed.
One of the two. Again, it all delves into when it comes to once these three matches on the next show are posted up and the winners are posted up, it's going to be a matter of seeing who does the best promo. On who has... For me, it's going to be who's going to show who has the heart and the passion for it.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be for me. That's what's going to make my determination. It's and that's where it's going to go. Nick obviously won the first qualifying match. The next three qualifiers are this coming show. I honestly, like I said, it's a toss-up, I think, between Sentinel and Nick Daniels. So, because both handlers are phenomenal writers. I've been familiar with Shane's work for years, and I'm getting familiar with Nick Daniels, and I honestly think it's going to come down between them two.
Yeah, Sentinel's, Shane's got such a... In a weird way, what's interesting about both of them is kind of the same thing. It's how character consistent they are. They've already got a really good sense of character voice and how these people think and how these, even kind of the way they write their narrative is matched up with the character. It's
Right.
Great stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Mm.
So, yep, that's it's between the two, first and second respectively. They're both tied for first. It could be either one of them, in my opinion.
Mm. Would you ever consider teaming up with someone? Would you ever consider a tag?
That's a very good question.
Who sent that in? Tim? Wasn't that good a question?
I'm not
Just-
opposed. I'm not opposed to Aerynn tag teaming with anybody. So I'm not definitely saying no. She wouldn't. As to who I think she would be a good tag team partner with, that's a harder question. The obvious answer would be Paulie, because they are childhood friends. Them tagging up together, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when is it gonna happen. Obviously, at some point in time before Aerynn does her face turn, she's probably gonna get, partnered up with Brody against somebody. I honestly think, in my opinion, that if she got teamed with anybody and partnered with anybody, her and Jessica would probably wipe the floor with anybody that they went against. I honestly think that.
At some point, what I want really badly before like the big turn, I want a 6-man tag with her, Brody and Polly all on one team.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yep.
And who would they fight?
Oh, I don't know. Whoever, it doesn't matter. Just the drama of having these guys together would be so like, because Polly's gonna want to like punch him in the face, like.
Right.
Brody's just Brody is like, I'm sorry, I know I'm gushing, but like I love so many of our characters right now, and Brody he's like in such a text-based medium where you have to use your imagination so much, and I still feel comfortable saying this. He is a very punchable face.
He does. He really, really does. It's just, you can see just in Aaron's reactions to how Brody is, like with his entrance on the first show. She was like, God, dude, come on, seriously?
Yeah.
It's just get your ass down here, let's go and get this over with.
Anytime now.
So, yeah, it's anytime now, come on. Yes, we know you're, the big shot here, so. But yeah, Brody does have a very punchable face. But yeah, I honestly, at some point in time, I would love to see Aerynn and Jessica work together instead of against each other, and go from there. So.
Very cool, very cool. Alright, well, those are my questions. That's what I wanted to know. Anything else on your end you're curious about, Selina?
No, she's pretty much covered it all.
Okay, so did anybody else besides Tim send in any questions?
Let's see. What haven't I asked here? We've got, where did you come up with your characters? Kind of went over that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do you see walking in as champ? From what have you seen so far? Oh, from what you've seen so far, what two characters could get together and be feud of the year? Potentially interesting feuds.
Potentially interesting feuds. Wow, that is a really good one. Out of everybody that I see right now, we have Kyle Travis that's coming in.
Cool.
I foresee a good feud between Kyle Travis and Nick Daniels. Would be a good feud. I'm kind of wanting to see a tag team feud between Kiss and Sangreal.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best rivalry though is gonna be between Aerynn and Brody. I do.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a really interesting one.
So I think that's gonna be I foreseeing it for a while getting very personable.
Personal?
Yes, personal. Thank you.
It's gonna be the most friendly rivalry ever.
Yeah, personal. I see it getting very personal between Aerynn and Brody.
I'm going to beat you at the pay-per-view. Well, I politely disagree.
So, I would like to see a feud get started between Sentinel and Fabian at some point to see how that would go. Oh yeah, because those two dudes are fucking massive. So I mean, yeah,
that'd be fun to write. That'd be really fun to write.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if I could throw in a kind of an answer here, because I like to hear myself talk. The Brody and Garbage Man. Brody, Garbage Man's kind of very blue collar.
Right.
Could be that could be interesting. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, now that you pointed out the blue collar, low class worker against the rich playboy, to see how that would work. Brody and Garbage Man would be a damn good rivalry. Yeah.
There'd be like one promo where Brody's just like a garbage man, like really.
Right. Right. So yeah, Garbage Man and Brody would be a good one to see. So, like to see how that would develop out.
What else do we have in the thread here? I'm very deliberately leaving out one of these questions. The writer knows which one.
I think the girlfriend of the writer knows which one you're deliberately leaving out too.
we already talked about your favorite writers. I think we've covered most of these. Oh, we've got a big last one, kind of a broad one. Take our UWA roster and fantasy book them against a real wrestler, past or present.
First one would be Brody Montgomery III against Ted DiBiase.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be an interesting one.
So who wins?
I see Brody coming out on top on that one.
Yeah.
Only because he's got youth and speed on his side. No, honey, not dick size.
How do you know? You've never seen Ted DiBiase's dick? That is wild speculation, sir.
Let's see, another one. Sentinel and Kane, I think, would be another interesting one.
That would be very interesting.
Who do I see coming out on top of that one? I'm gonna have to go with Kane on this one. Because, I mean, come on, it's Kane.
Yeah.
It's no offense to getting shamed, but, it's Kane. The dude is a fucking monster,
Sentinel won't cheat.
Sentinel won't cheat. Kane's known for cheating. Another one that I would honestly love to see would be Nick Daniels against Taker.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And as far as which match it would be, my first question would be, is it WrestleMania or not? If it's WrestleMania, Taker. Taker would win that match in a heartbeat. If it's not a WrestleMania event and it's just, a house show or, like Raw or SmackDown or whatever, I see Nick taking it. So, I mean, it's a matter of which show is it? Is it, WrestleMania, or is it, Raw, SmackDown, house show, whatever? And why? Well, because it's Taker.
Who'd he ever beat?
So
I think if you're going to do Nick and Taker, there's an obvious stipulation. You have to run Inferno match.
Yes.
Burning City Saint, you got it.
My next one, when she's introduced, Maiko and AJ Lee.
Ooh.
That would be a phenomenal fucking show, I believe. Only because Maiko is a very high impact, high flying type of wrestler. AJ's really not. She's more of a submissive wrestler. I mean, don't get me wrong, she does some of the high flying and high impact stuff, but a lot of her wins comes from that nasty, yet badass submissive Black Widow hold that she has.
That thing is so cool.
And Maiko's style of fighting is she hits them fast, she hits them hard. So I honestly think if I see Maiko actually coming out on top of that one, because if AJ can't get her hands on somebody, she really can't, hook in that Black Widow, and it's been shown, a lot on the house shows or whatever. How the chick is still WWE Divas Champion, I have no idea. Don't get me wrong, like I said, she's my favorite female wrestler, but it seems the only time that she wins is during a pay-per-view.
Shenanigans, my friend. Pure, unadulterated shenanigans. That's how she retains.
and shenanigans. Tag team-wise, I would like to see Sangreal or is it Corn-Fed Mafia or whatever?
Cornbread Mafia.
Cornbread Mafia against the Usos. And who do I think would win? The Usos. Because, come on, that's Rikishi's boys, and, and I'm such an Usos fan, it's not even funny. So
Cornbread Mafia being brought to the Fed fills me with joy. They're so funny.
Yeah, Ryan does do a pretty good job with them.
Yeah. Stable-wise, we don't have any stables yet in UWE, but, my favorite stable is the Wyatts. So, but yeah.
Our big heel's Brody, and nobody wants to hang out with that jerk.
Get a couple big heels.
I'm gonna take shots at Brody. I'll until Aerynn destroys him, I will be taking shots.
So yeah, I honestly have to think. I have to agree with you there. Brody is the big heel of UWA right now. He's the one that everybody's just like, fuck that guy.
Shade.
So, do what?
Throwing shade at Brody. Shade.
Being thrown.
So, but yeah, that's really, all I can think of as far as matching and everything goes, fantasy matching.
Good stuff. Anything else you wanted to ask, Selina?
Nope, I think we've about covered it.
Alright, so I think we're all set.
Okay.
We will have another one of these when? When's our plan for the next one?
I would say in 2 more weeks. After the next show's posted, we'll wait a week after the show, and then we're either Selina and I are going to get our claws into you, or you and I will get our digs into Selina.
Spoiler alert: Selina laughs a lot.
Well, yeah. This is not unknown.
All right, guys. So very good. That's good for me. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Signing off. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.